Good day, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're in good health and happy. I'd like to share a little Tyco set I just finished here in case you'd like to see it. Look at the cars on this and the engine. They're just well preserved. I'm sure it was sold as a set. I didn't get it with the set box. It was in a laundry basket, you know. You know that comes sometimes. But the way the cars, it's all Tyco. It's actually Mantua, the predecessor to Tyco, but the same thing. Power pack says Tyco. But the way the cars all matched underneath, looking at them, by wear and tear or design. If this didn't come as a whole set, he must have added a couple cars. That's possible. It's got to be a mid-70s. I'm going to try to regulate the speeder. I don't have to work the throttle. Look at that little engine. Pulls 6 cars with the caboose. No wheel slip. It's got a traction tire. But it's just a little 040. Wow. Watch this. I'm going to give it one. No slip. It just took off. Like it was geared. This is top speed. I slowed down coming down the hill. I don't want to dump them. I can't dump this one. Look at the cars. I always say poor things they've never played with. I put a short bridge and trestle set on. Even the transformer is just shiny. Wow. No box, no original box. So. I decided to go with one straight on each side instead of 2. It's like watching it run. It'll back up all the way around too. It'll push uphill and not derail. That's pretty good for HO. Horn hook couplers. Oh, I gotta show you something I did. I had trouble with this shifter. They call the engine a shifter there, that switcher. When it hit the top of the bridge, where the tracks hit the top trestle, there was that, like a bend, you know, an arc. And it was the engine was lifting the tender off the track and derailing. So the curves on each side I bent. They're actually, you know, a little curved like that. So then when it kind of hits the top of the trestle, hitting the bridge there, it's more even going into the straight. It was a very quick solution to a little problem. Didn't take long to overcome. Look at this take off even. Oh, thought it stalled for a minute. Nice and smooth and slow. And you can see how smooth it is when it arcs over to the bridge, that highest trestle. Very smooth instead of like hitting the peak and going boom. Could add an operating car or two, a side track, or just more track. You need to have a Tyco log dumper or dump right there. I got a lot of those. I just don't want to. I don't want to make the cost of the set too high. Set cost. Some sets I really deck out with accessories. The price is up. Most of them I keep down and I put in the ad that they can add that themselves. Just so it doesn't, the price tag ain't too high. A couple more times. Love doing this. My best method for cleaning HO tracks is 100 grit sandpaper on a sanding block across, not with it, but across. And then just take a dry wipe, like a old washcloth, and wipe the shavings. Very quick. And watch where your, how corroded it is where your connectors go on. Of course, you got to make sure they're not bent or anything, the tracks. Bend them back. Bend them back if they are, no big deal. Takes patience sometimes if they really rip them off the board. Not a scratch on it. Well, actually, the rear tender steps are broke, but otherwise, very fragile part of that one. Did you ever see a Tyco auto loader intact? That orange car with the double deck, and they're great, but very fragile. Every now and then I get one in. Hey, it's in. No, it's got glue on it. Intact. No, it's got glue. So, sometimes I do get some intact. The light on the back is just display. It doesn't light up. Stuck on the tender, I mean. You could probably light that if you need. Very easy. Stick a tiny green and white bulb in it. A wire. Well, 2 wires. How would you directional light a DC HO? Nice project idea. Directional lighting on an HO with DC, not DCC. Front and rear. I thought maybe some were like that. Come to think of it, some diesels were. One more time around. We're in the station here. Woo. Santa Fe 040 shifter set. Your shifter, if your old Mantua Tyco doesn't move right away, take a test wire to that wire that goes to the tender that screws on the bottom, and the other end to your frame, and see if it goes. And if it does, then your tender trucks aren't connecting to the frame of the tender, which the brass wheels pick up one rail and send it to the engine. And if that doesn't do it, then you might have your axles on the engine aren't grounding to the frame for the other rail. You just kind of go from there. You might have a broken wire, bad brush, or whatever. These are very easy to get apart. These engines, just one screw that goes up right from underneath, and the cab or the boiler tilts up and comes off 2 tabs on each side, and it's off. You just got to watch the little wire for the headlight. It's very fragile. It's still connected at that point. And another tip is the dog bone, they call them, that goes in between that fiberboard. If you don't have a lot of flex and you hit the trestles and it's pulling the tender up like that, you sand them a little bit thinner where the bolts are. You usually don't have to drill a hole bigger, just minimize slightly the thickness of the bone where the screw is, so it has some room to move without being tight to the engine. And that's it, I guess. Everything's for sale on eBay mostly, or eBay and my website, thetrainsaver.com. Individual items as well as train sets and some other goodies that aren't train related. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Have a good day and God bless.